Am I the a-hole for demanding my parents not include my adopted siblings when we go out to dinner for my birthday? 5 years ago, my parents adopted 2 of my siblings. I'll call them Cassandra 17F and Layla 15F. 2 years ago, their biological younger brother, Lukuta, and the absolute light of my life and the best boy, was born and eventually surrendered, so he was placed with us too. When Cassandra and Layla were first adopted, they were already preteens, which meant they had lived through a lot and had their own set of challenges and traumas. Because of this, my parents made bonding with them a major priority. They wanted to ensure that Cassandra and Layla felt safe and supported in their new home, which makes total sense, but it's been hard not to feel like I'm being left out sometimes. My parents are constantly taking them to different bonding activities, adoption therapy, family therapy, although the family therapy feels weird since I'm technically part of the family too. But I'm only included occasionally. And when I am, it's usually just to be told that I need to be less of a show-off or something like that. They also take Cassandra and Layla out after their individual therapy sessions, which I 100% support. I would never admit this in real life, but God, I'm so jealous of it. I just wish I got that kind of attention too. I know it's not the same, but I had 6 bouts over the summer for my sport, and it felt like a miracle when my parents managed to attend just 2 of them. And those 2 didn't include the last fight or the family day event, which really stung. I mean, who wouldn't want to come to see me in action? At least come for the catharsis of watching me get whacked with a sword. Sometimes, circumstances demand that I be there for the family bonding stuff, and I've even moved my schedule around to try to make this happen more often, hoping to be included. At first, my parents were okay with me hanging to the side, but then they started asking me to step back entirely so that I wouldn't engage with whatever bonding activity they were doing with my sisters. Apparently, those activities were supposed to be exclusively for Cassandra and Layla. Last night, I finally reached my breaking point. I told my parents that I wanted them to do things with me, alone. I said that it felt like they were wildly favoring my siblings over me, and I just wanted to have dinner with them on my birthday, without my sisters. I thought this was a reasonable request, but they didn't take it well at all. They got really defensive and even threatened to send me to therapy, which hurt more than I expected. After that, we ate in awkward silence for a few minutes. I tried to change the subject by telling them I had won the season-long bracket in my sport, thinking maybe that would make them proud or at least lighten the mood. But instead, they emphasized how it was not the right time to be bragging. They told me I needed to apologize for my outburst. They kept insisting that Cassandra and Layla were traumatized and needed more support than I did. They even accused me of thinking that my siblings weren't real siblings just because I wanted some time with my parents that wasn't centered around them. After dinner, Layla came up to me and said she thought having some time for just me was actually a good idea. She even suggested that we go out as a family but focus on me for a whole week. Honestly, that idea sounds incredibly embarrassing, but also kind of amazing. I'd love that, especially since I've been wanting to hang out more with my sisters anyway. Layla's always been the more understanding one, and hearing her support me like that meant a lot. Cassandra, though, had a completely different reaction. She pulled me aside and told me that I'd always been a spoiled asshole. She said that asking for alone time with our parents was like a healthy person demanding stitches from a poorly stocked first aid kit just because everyone else had them, and he wanted to feel special. She said I should take a step back and realize how awful and selfish it was for me to ask for something like that when my siblings were dealing with so much. I'm feeling really torn right now. On one hand, I'm thinking maybe I should just run away so my family doesn't have to deal with me anymore. I don't want to be the source of any more tension or hurt feelings. On the other hand, I feel this deep urge to sink into the comfort of self-pity. I just want someone, my parents, my siblings, anybody to genuinely care about how I feel or to be glad for me when I achieve something. I don't want to be seen as selfish or as a burden. I just want to feel like I matter too.